It pains me to say that on this day we have lost someone who was so influential to so many people, was so kind and sweet and generous. She was amazing. She was an icon. She was an influence. She was a legend, and she still is because her soul and heart will still live on with everyone that she encountered. On this sad day, we have lost a great soul by the name of Alice Mary Jane Washington, whom is my grandmother. She was one of the most beautiful people that you could have ever met. She had one of the biggest heartwarming smiles that just made your skin crawl, and she had one of the sweetest voices. She taught me how to tie my shoes. She taught me my left foot from my right foot, and she always told me very entertaining stories to keep me entertained while she did it. She pulled one of my first teeth out by putting floss on it and then telling me that she was going to count to 3 and pull it, but actually pull it on 1. When I was younger, she also did Easter egg hunts for me and my cousin in the backyard, and we would have to find them all through the slides in the playground back there. She just is an amazing person. And I use the word is because her soul still lives on, and because she still is that person. Even though she passed away that person, she's still in heaven as that. She is my idol. She's my role model. There wasn't a day that went by where I ever stayed sad or upset. She was always there to cheer me up. Even though my name is Alexandria, she gave me the nickname Susie Q. And it still hasn't died down. Some people still call me that. Even though it has no relevance to my actual name at all, I love it because it came from her. She flat ironed my hair on Easter for the first time, and even though she burnt my hair, it was an interesting experience with my grandmother. We used to sell ices together at the church because she has such a generous heart, and all the money that we made, she would donate it to the youth center so they could have new things and so they could grow and so they can get more into church. And the ices were about like this big. We just sold them for $1 and everybody loved them. Everybody knew her. There was no way that you could not know her. She was just everywhere. She was just a really generous, sweet, loving, warm person. Whether she knew you or not, no matter your situation, what you looked like, where you came from, she was always there to help. She was always there to offer compassion and love and advice when you needed it. I remember we used to pick fruit in her garden in the backyard. There were plums and peaches, and I think we had pears, but I mainly remember the plums because the birds loved them so much, and every time we go out there, there'd always be at least 15 on the ground just pecked from birds, and we didn't know how to get rid of them. I remember her favorite flower is pansies, little purple pansies, and she planted them in our flower box in the front yard of our house, and she was just the best person that I've ever met in my entire life. And it sucks that such a great person had to be taken off of this earth. But we all know that she was in pain and that she is in a better place now. She spent her final days in hospice surrounded by so many family and friends that loved her and cared about her. And I feel like she lived a really fulfilled life and that she was happy with her life. She helped people. She was a woman of God. She had the house she wanted. She was surrounded by people who loved her and cared about her. Everyone looked out for my grandma because she looked out for everybody. And I remember I used to come home after school and get off the school bus, and I would come and I'd check on her, and I'd always ask her if there was anything that she would need. But she would always ask me if there was anything that I needed instead. And even though she didn't have it, she would find a way to get it for me. Because she loved me, and she made everybody their specialized graham cracker cakes with cream cheese icing and then stacked graham crackers all around in circles and circles until it reached the middle, and they were so good. Gosh, I miss her cooking. Her cooking is so good. She was the best at cakes, like baking, chicken, casseroles, everything. And so on this day, I ask you not to have your hearts filled with sorrow and with grief, but with happiness and rejoice, because now Alice Mary Jane Washington is free.